Today we're going to talk about when they get on your last nerve. Reflections of Purpose. Hello, my name is Karen Sims, and you joined us here at Twisted Threads for our Reflections of Purpose. And we wanted to talk a little bit today about how to maneuver what, as always, we get into these topics, your last nerve. How do you move forward when things, people, experiences get on your last nerve? Now look, I know it's a lot of times that we might say this as mothers. I know my kids have heard this line many, many times. You are on my last nerve, and now we are at the breaking point. So, how do we maneuver when we do get to that place of, yeah, you're getting on my last nerve? See, you see how that rolled off my tongue? Like it wasn't practice. You will get the same thing when I say that line every single time without fail. But the challenge comes of what happens to me, for me, through me, and around me when I have allowed something, someone, or some experience to take me to that point where what? Where it's only one nerve left. Now look, we know when we get into particular places in our lives where we can physically feel ourselves kind of being emotionally drained. And yes, there are moments when we have to push through and persevere and move forward anyway. But when you get to that last nerve, look, it hits different. How about that? You know, I love it because when I have conversations with my children and we say certain things, it's like, yeah, well, mommy, you said that before. Yeah, but it hit different this time. Why? Because you on my last nerve. Then something else is required of me, of you, of us. Number one, understanding. Know that they're going to take you there. If you have a relationship with even yourself, you know the things that trigger you. You know the things that kind of put you in that place to say, this is going to drain me emotionally. There are times for me that I usually have to let other people know. It's interesting because I have conversations with people of all different ages, male and female. So it's not just one person or one area where we could say, you know, this happens to women often. It happens to men. It happens to grandfathers. It happens to fathers. It happens to sons and daughters. Look. We got toddlers who you know when you're getting on their last nerve. Why? Because they usually going to fall out and cry. So we don't want to be the toddlers. We don't want to be the middle schoolers. We don't want to be the high schoolers. We want to be able to manage our emotions and manage ourselves even when they're on our last nerve. So I never know when it's going to show up. It might be the kids. It normally is not the grandkids because they usually bring me joy. But something about them crying, it just does something else different to me that I think that their parents should kind of, you know, jump into action. And my daughter is like, really, Ma? Like, why are you expecting me to do this? Like, you didn't do that. That's not the point. Stay on task. I need my grandbabies not to be crying. But when it comes to what do we need to do, you got to take a moment. Be real with yourself. Try not to put yourself in situations where you literally are at that breaking point to say, this is my last nerve. Somebody is on it. We've got no emergency exit. There's nothing else that we can do, but that is the important thing. Don't let it get to that point. Realize where your emergency exit is, because sometimes it might be that gossiping friend that's calling you again and talking to you about somebody who you'd rather not know about, and you got to end that conversation. Why? Because that's going to work your nerves. So if you get to the part where this is working my nerves, sometimes it's relationships, romantic relationships. I know that I am a couple of handfuls, okay? And there are rules, everything. Look, I need you to talk to me about this, and we need to do this here, and we need to go over here. It's like, wait a minute, what? I try to verbalize the way that I expect for people to treat me, but it's a choice for them. And so you got to understand that too, that even though somebody on the other end might be getting on your last nerve, odds are you might be getting on theirs too. So you got to have some empathy towards the people who are in your circle. You got to have some understanding that sometimes when people are new to, say, getting more power in a situation, or there's a power shift, You got to make room for that. Why? Because it's within us to test our boundaries. It's okay. The people in your life are supposed to be testing your boundaries. Usually I wear mine on my sleeve as kind of directions. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Why? Because I know that I sometimes will get out of the box. Maybe that's not the same thing for you. I love it because my good friend Big Legs, you know, she never say, she got a line and she'll say, player. And you already know, look, you done drawn, you passed the line. Big Legs, you know I love you. Player. When you get that title, you done move somewhere different with her. She letting you know you on my nerve zone. And it might get dangerous up in here if you keep moving forward. The people who you have close relationships with, your kids know that when they are working your nerves emotionally, they know it. But they're testing the boundaries, well, because that's what they're supposed to do. When people ask me, how the kids doing? Well, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're getting on my nerves, eating all my food, spending all my money. I think that's about it. This is their job. To make sure that you don't get into a place where someone getting on your last nerve takes you out of character means that you got to always be focused on what are your interactions with people. What is it that Johnny is bringing to you that may be a negative attitude, and then you're on the other side of trying to figure out, how do I manage my emotions? Well, step one, minimize your time with Johnny. I know that it's simple. It is simple stuff. But unless we confront the things that are in front of us. So if you're not a gossiper, you're not the one that Susie should call when she wants to gossip about Joanne or talk about so-and-so's no good husband. Set those expectations with the people around you. And then when the boundary gets crossed, set it again. Tell them, oh, you done crossed the line. I love you, sis, but you know we need to end this conversation. Child, I love you, but you can't come over here in this realm right here. Now, look, they'll be shocked. They won't know what to do. So you'll have to be prepared to give them some direction and tell them it's going to be okay. I still love you. I just can't deal with this portion of you right now. Making sure that people don't get on our last nerve gives us an opportunity to be better in the world. If that means that you need to take a lunch break, you need to take a phone break, you need to send an email to info@twistedthreadsllc.com. Send it there so that we can help you understand more of yourself when you set boundaries for yourself. So if you got a money setting limit, I usually, when I'm going shopping, have a money setting limit. I cannot shop with my sister because she does not respect my personal boundaries when it comes to my budget. So my sister is the person who I'll be like, I need to make a choice. I've got a budget of $100. I should probably choose between A and B. And she is the one who say, you should not choose at all. You should buy both. I can't go shopping with her. You see, these are the things to make sure, and because the first thing that I'm going to say to her is, you get on my nerves. You try to spend all my money. Spend your own money. And then I put her back over there in the corner, and I remember. And I'm remembering this because I've got a dress that I need to take back to the department store because I listened to that woman and I bought them both. Now, it wasn't technically her fault, but I need her to be a better influence when we go shopping. So I have to give her rules on what not to say. Don't tell me I can buy two. And you can, and for lack of a better word, you teach the people who are around you how to handle the things concerning you when you're going through changes and when it's going to be a time when they need to what? Don't get on your last nerve. Look, this is all really talking about how do you manage stress? How do you manage to make sure that you yourself are not somewhere with your back against the wall? We want to assist you to make sure that you got good, fun things happening in your life. And as always, so that as we tell you to go out into the world and make it an amazing day, it's not a difficult task for you because you understand what your boundaries are. You understand what you want people to know about you, those who are closest to you in your circle, and you're able to execute the plans in your life so you can continue with success. It's Twisted Threads. As always, we want you to like and share these videos. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. What? Why? So you don't get on my last nerve. We enjoy sharing these messages with you continually. Hopefully you're getting something out of them. Our tagline is to inspire, impact, and transform. That's why we're here every day doing what we do, why we put in the work. It's for you. It's Twisted Threads. Make it an amazing day.